So hello students, hello students, right? So students, hello, welcome back to your own channel Vedant on NEET English. This is Basavaraj Sir, your biology master teacher. Students, welcome back. Now students, this is a part 3 of human reproduction, part 3. In the first class, we finished the basic general introduction, male as well as female reproductive units. And in the second class, we finished something called as your entire spermatogenesis and oogenesis. And today is the final class. The end of human reproduction. So in today's class, you will be understanding what is the menstrual cycle, what exactly happens in fertilization, leveled up content. Trust me, you will not find this content in your NCERT. I will teach you level up content. Then after fertilization, what exactly happened? What is implantation? What is gestation? What exactly is parturition? And what exactly is lactation, students? So this is the entire summary of today's class. So if you are excited for today's class, quickly some fire emoji in the chat to let me know you're ready, students. If you're ready. Hello, students. Hello, students. Exactly. By the end of this class, all of you can tell me, wanakam. By the end of the class, all of you can confidently tell me, sir, I am a master in human reproduction. That is my guarantee, students. Hello, Rashmita. Hello, Shamla. Hello, Ansi. Hello, Palak. Paki. Hello, everyone, students. Hello, yellow. Hello, everyone, students. Now, as usual, students, you can join the Telegram channel where you get all the notes, right? If you have noticed, Joshua, right? So, hello, Joshua, also, right? So, if you want notes, you'll get in Telegram channel. All of you know that in Telegram you get the notes. I have uploaded all the notes, students, right? Students, yes, you can watch again. What is it, students? You can ask me the doubts. You can watch it again. You will learn something new. Who knows? You might learn something new in my class. Now, students, let's start the topic with menstrual cycle. Now, let's start with menstrual cycle. Okay, shall we, students? Shall we? Students, my style of teaching is a little different. I will teach you a lot of theory, which is very, very important. Okay, students, very, very important. Darshini, hello, Darshini also. Hello, Darshini. Hello, hi. Hi, Sakshi also. Govarshan. Hello, students. Hello. You passed in 2025. Thank you so much. Thank you. Right. Now, students, I want all of you to understand, where do you think the menstrual cycle takes place? First of all, students, tell me in the chat, do you think menstrual cycle happens in the case of your females or males? Basic question. All of you, basic question, students. In males or females? Yes, it happens in the case of females, all of you know. Does it happen in the case of mammals? Yes, it does happen in the case of mammals. Does menstrual cycle happen in the case of primates or non-primates? All of you in the chat, students. Question to all of you. Do you think a menstrual cycle happens in the case of primates, non-primates? Students, quickly, all of you. It happens in the case of primates. So in the case of primates, like chimpanzee, monkey, all of us, right? All of you, right? Not me, only females, obviously, right? So menstrual cycle happens in the case of females, right? Of primates. In the case of non-primates, like dogs and cats, they have estrous cycle. They have something called as estrous cycle. Okay, so the average duration of a menstrual cycle is about 28 days. So it's a very standard, right? Very standard outcome. It is a cyclic discharge of blood and mucosal tissue from the uterus through vagina. Basically, what happens, students? The entire endometrium layer breaks down. That is what is happening here. Okay. Now, students, I will teach you in a very easy way. Please follow through, students. Please follow through. Okay. Now, the entire, when does it start? Menstrual cycle starts at the age of 12 to 13 or 14 years of age. Back in the days, it used to start very late, but now because of a lot of exposure and the habit and the entire nutrition, everything has changed right now. Now the entire menstrual cycle starts generally around 12 to 14 years of age. That is called as menarche. Okay, students. Okay, that is menarche. They undergo bleeding. They do not undergo bleeding. They have different thing itself. Okay, so menarche is called as the starting. Then menarche is called as starting here, and menopause is called as stop. It says pause, or if we can make sense, obviously, students, or we can make sense. Pause means stop. Okay, pause means stop. Now, menopause generally happens at the age of 50. At the age of 50 years, it stops. Menarche at 12 to 14, it starts. 12 to 14, it starts. Now, I want all of you to understand, there are actually, students, listen to me very carefully, very beautiful, it is very amazing process. By the end of it, you'll be like, wow. You'll be like, wow. Okay. Now, this entire process actually is involvement of a lot of different hormones, and there are two events happening simultaneously. Let me show you. Let me show you, students. Let me show you. Okay. What other questions? Now, students, I want all of you notice very carefully, students, very carefully. Okay. There is something called as uterine event here, and on the top, do you see something called as ovarian event? Students, I will teach you the entire thing with the help of here itself. Now, again, students, all of you, I want all of you to pay maximum attention for the next 15 minutes. Can I get that, students? Can I get that? Students, can I get it? Next 15 minutes, I need maximum attention. Okay, maximum attention. Right? I'll deal. Okay. Now, here there is something called as uterine event happening right here, and there is something called as ovarian event happening on the top. Now, let me just write for you, students. There is first one is called as ovarian event. Ovarian event, and there is something called as, one more is called as uterine event. Uterine event. Now, the menstrual cycle happens, two places simultaneously. Two different things are happening here. Please follow, students. This is a very, very intricate process. Very intricate. Okay. We have uterine events and ovarian events. Now, what exactly happens here? Because this event will influence this event. Yes, whatever is happening in the ovaries will influence the functioning of uterus. Very important concept, students. Very important concept. Okay. Now, for example, here in the starting stage here, the starting stage is called as follicular phase. It is called as what, students? Follicular phase right here. It is called as follicular phase right here. Now, simultaneously, the meaning of simultaneously is at the same time. Thank you, student. Thank you so much. Okay. Now, students, simultaneously, whenever there is happening here in the ovarian event, right? Wherever there is follicular phase here, simultaneously at the bottom, there is something called as proliferatory phase. Okay, proliferatory phase. Proliferatory phase. Just listen to me very carefully, students, very carefully. Okay. So here we have follicular phase, here we have proliferatory phase. Simultaneously both are happening. This is influencing this. Okay. Now, then there is a common phase called as on the 14th day, called as ovulation. Called as ovulation right here on the 14th day. Ovulation is happening. Okay, ovulation is happening. Then on the top here, this part here is called as luteal phase. All of you. This part is called as luteal phase, right? Luteal phase. Where in the ovary we have luteal phase. Now, at the same time, at the bottom in the uterus, we have secretory phase. Secretory phase. Okay. This is the most important, students. Okay. In examination, sometimes they can ask you which two events are happening together. Sometimes in examination, they can ask you which two things are happening together. So please be prepared, right? Please be prepared. Please be prepared. You should know what is happening together. Now, I want all of you to listen to me very, very carefully. Very carefully right now. If this is clear to all of you, can I get a thumbs up in the chat? Right. If this is clear to all of you students, can I get a thumbs up in the chat right now? If this is clear to all of you. There is follicular phase, uterine phase. Follicular phase here in ovarian we have follicular, proliferatory in uterine, ovulation common, luteal phase in the ovarian, secretory phase in the uterine. Now listen to me carefully, students. Okay, roasting on later. Okay. Now, students, can all of you look at the diagram and tell me which hormone is at the top right now? Do you think the red line is on the top or the blue line is on the top? All of you, look at it. Tell me, students, which line is on the top? Can all of you see in the starting stage, FSH is actually high here? Yes or no? Yes or no, students? Here in the starting, FSH is actually high. It is actually high. FSH stands for follicular stimulating hormone. FSH stands for follicular stimulating hormone. Follicular stimulating hormone, students. So, what do you think the main function? The main function of FSH is what? The main function of FSH is what? To develop follicle. Can you see? Developing follicle here. All of you, developing follicle. So, this hormone, that is a pituitary hormone here, pituitary hormone, that is influencing the development of follicle. Now, every single month, how many ovule or how many secondary oocyte is released, students? How many ovum is released every single month? Secondary oocyte. Every single month, only one is released. So, as soon as the dominant mature follicle is obtained, do we need more follicles? No. Every single month, one is enough. So, can you see, students, automatically the FSH level is going down later on. Can you see, students? It's going on later on. Because once we reach a dominant follicle, we do not need. Now, this is actually done by a feedback mechanism. And also production of inhibin. Also production of something called as inhibin. So FSH is reduced right now. Done. This is reduced till now. So now we have a dominant follicle because of FSH. Right now. Dominant follicle. Now this follicle will start to stimulate the production of something called as estrogen. So from here to here, the influence happened. Now from here, estrogen influence is happening. So can you see, students, there is an increase in estrogen here. More volume of estrogen is here. Now this estrogen will influence the endometrium layer. It's like a connection. Now this estrogen will help in development of endometrium layer. Can you see, students? There is a piling up endometrium layer. Students, estrogen will help in what? It will help in development of endometrium layer. Now let's recap, students. What do we call the names as? Students? Okay. No, this is different inhibin. This is a different inhibin here. Okay. Now, students, ovarian event, what did we learn? In ovarian event, it is called as follicular phase. Why is it called follicular phase? It is called as follicular phase because there is a development of follicle. Happened here. Yes or no? At the same time, here in the uterus, it is called as proliferatory phase. Why? Because there is proliferation of what? Proliferation of endometrium layer. Can you see, students? Proliferation of endometrium layer. Students, does it make sense to all of you? Does this make sense to all of you? Yes or no, students? Yes or no, students? Here, first of all, we have the follicular phase, development of follicle because of the FSH. Here, we have the proliferatory phase because of the development of endometrium here, because of the estrogen. So this part is over. That part is over. That is how you learn the menstrual cycle, student. That's how you learned. Students, yeah, my cash also listen to the class. But students, any doubt till now, students? Any doubt till now? All of you students, any doubt till now? This part is actually learned, done. That's all is the main part here. Now on the 14th day, what happens, students? On the 14th day, there is an increase in the LH as well as there is an increase in the FSH. LH mostly, it is called as LH surge. LH surge is happening. And because of increase in LH and also increase in estrogen here, estrogen is increasing. That causes the Graafian follicle to rupture. Once the Graafian follicle ruptures, the secondary oocyte is released. Students, here, this is Graafian follicle. This right here is the Graafian follicle here. Right in pink color. Graafian follicle ruptures, causes ovulation here, and this right here is the secondary oocyte has been released. Secondary oocyte has been released, students. Okay, secondary oocyte has been released right now. Secondary oocyte has been released. Now, students, I want all of you to understand, students, Once the secondary oocyte is released here, this remaining part, what happens? This remaining part gets converted to corpus luteum. Gets converted to, students, corpus luteum right now. Corpus luteum. Okay, so remaining part is converted to corpus luteum right now. Remaining part. Now, let's understand this side what is happening right now. Initially, what do we have, students? Initially, can you see there is increase in LH right now? Increase in LH. So, because of increase in LH, this LH will maintain the corpus luteum. The LH will maintain, no, students, what? The LH will maintain the what? All of you in the chat. The LH will maintain the corpus luteum here. That is why this part is called as luteal phase and LH is called as luteinizing hormone. Luteinizing hormone. Okay, corpus luteum maintenance done. Now this corpus luteum has one single motivation, only one single job in the world, to produce progesterone. Need PYQ alert. Okay, so this corpus luteum will increase the progesterone level. Can you see the red line here? The red line here, students. Red line here. There is an increase in progesterone, students. There is an increase in progesterone. Can you see increase in progesterone? Now, what is the main function of progesterone, students? The main function of progesterone is to maintain the endometrium. This endometrium is ready, right? A thick endometrium. The thick endometrium is maintained by progesterone, students. So, estrogen helps in proliferation. Progesterone maintaining. So, progesterone helps in maintaining the endometrium. Progesterone helps in maintaining the endometrium, students. And that is the menstrual cycle. Okay, that's why it's called as secretory phase. The reason it is called as secretory phase is because it helps in the secretion of different types of substances from the entire endometrium. Endometrium becomes secretory in nature or glandular also. Okay. Now a question to all of you, students. Now a question to all of you. Now let's this sperm enters. If the sperm enters, egg is there, they fertilize in the ampulla region. Fertilization happens. Then what happens? Implantation happens, and the chapter which we will learn today: implantation, gestation, lactation, parturition, all we will learn. Now, what if there is no entry of sperm? What if there is no intercourse? If there is no entry of sperm, then what happens? If there is no entry of sperm, the first thing which will happen is, students, I'll write in black color. The first thing that happens is, students, decrease in LH. First of all, what happens, students? There is a decrease in LH right now. There is a decrease in LH. Now, if there is a decrease in LH, what happens, students? If there is a decrease in LH, who will maintain the, students, who will maintain the corpus luteum? This corpus luteum was maintained by LH. So, corpus luteum completely degenerates into corpus albicans. Students, into corpus albicans. Into corpus albicans. Yeah. Completely destroys. Completely destroys. Done. Now, if corpus luteum is missing, students, if the corpus luteum is missing, who will maintain the endometrium layer? If corpus luteum, students, if corpus luteum is missing now, can I see the progesterone level is going down? Progesterone level is going down right now. Going down. If there is no progesterone, students, if there is no progesterone, endometrium layer collapses. Endometrium layer collapses along with the secondary oocyte, along with the blood, along with the uterine tissue. Everything is removed out of the vagina every single month, and that is the bleeding stage. That is the bleeding stage and the end of it. Students, see, FHS is going still up. FHS is going up for the next cycle again. FHS is going up again for the next cycle again, students. So this is how it happens, students. So 14th day egg is released, right? Will it lead to menstruation? Yes, Blessy, I told you here. 14th day ovulation happens here. Secondary oocyte is released here only, no? Egg is released here. Egg release is a process. Now, once the egg is released, if there is fertilization, no bleeding stage, right? If there is no fertilization, then we have bleeding stage. Students, how many of you understood this entire process? And can you believe this actually happens every single month? Every single month, this entire fluctuation of hormones, increase in progesterone, increase in estrogen, decrease in estrogen, decrease in progesterone, increase in FSH, decrease in FSH, increase in LH. Now, students, do you realize All this is happening. All this is happening every single month in a female. Right? That's why the mood swings. That's why the entire changes happens in female. This is all is happening. Students, can you believe that? Entire thing. Crazy, estrogen is stimulated by which hormone, students? Estrogen is not stimulated by hormone. Estrogen here. Estrogen is stimulated by the granulosa cells actually. Estrogen is stimulated by the granulosa cells here. Granulosa cells here. Granulosa cells is stimulated by FSH here, development of FSH. Students, do you want me to recap one more time? Students, do you want me to give you a recap one more time? A small recap here and there. Students, do not worry about the time. Do not worry about the time. Worry about your future. If you want, right? If you want the concept to get more clear, ask me in the chat. I'll give you a small 1 minute recap. Okay. So 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Starting FSH increase. If there is an increase in FSH, what happens? Follicular stimulating hormone, development of follicle happens. Tertiary follicle, Graafian follicle. Now students, once we get a dominant follicle, there is a feedback mechanism. Because of feedback mechanism, there's a decrease in FSH here, decrease in FSH. Now once there's a decrease in FSH, all good now. Now students, once we get a dominant follicle, this dominant follicle will, this follicle has granulosa cells, right? Granulosa cells will increase the estrogen level. There's an increase in estrogen level. Now because of the increase in estrogen level, this estrogen will help in for development of endometrium layer. Done. Then on the 14th day, there is an increase in LH, decrease in FSH, which causes the LH surge, and then there is a ovulation happens. Ovulation happens there. Now what happens, students? Because of ovulation, the Graafian follicle is rupturing and secondary oocyte is released here. This remaining part gets converted to corpus luteum here, corpus luteum. Now on the 14th day, you can see there is an increase in estrogen also. Along with LH and FSH, estrogen is also increasing. Now what happens here in the next stage? After ovulation. After ovulation, what is happening, students? There is an increase in LH here. This LH will maintain the corpus luteum. Corpus luteum will produce progesterone. Progesterone will maintain the endometrium layer. I'll repeat again. LH is increased. LH will maintain the corpus luteum. Corpus luteum will increase progesterone. Progesterone will increase maintain the endometrium. Now, if there is no fertilization, at all, what happens? LH drops here. Once the LH drops, corpus luteum, gone case, over. If there is no corpus luteum, there is a decrease in progesterone. If there is a decrease in progesterone, no one is there to maintain the endometrium. If there is no one to maintain the endometrium collapses completely. That leads to bleeding stage. Students. That leads to bleeding stage. Here's the question, start solving. Students. Start solving the question. All of you. Start solving. Done, students? Done? Why is there no menstruation with pregnancy? Because during pregnancy, students, what is happening is that this LH level is not coming down only. Students, during pregnancy, this LH level is never coming down. If LH level is not coming down, apart from that, placenta will produce something called as HCG. HCG will also increase progesterone. So during the entire pregnancy, this progesterone is always there. Now, once there is progesterone is maintained, endometrium doesn't collapse. Now, after implantation, there is no more release. of secondary oocyte. So during pregnancy, there is no ovulation after again. Simple as that. Okay. Students, endometrium is necessary for implantation. Yes, it is necessary for implantation. Implantation. Oh, this is I haven't taught you what is blastocyst. So wait for it, students. In absence of fertilization, the corpus luteum degenerates. Yes, it degenerates, but does not explain. It does not explain this. So not explanation. Students, solve the question. It will not happen. Menstruation will not happen during pregnancy. Not happen. Students, solve this question, all of you. See, proliferatory phase In the starting, the proliferation is happening. So it is along with follicular phase. Okay. Secretory phase, what happens, students? Is along with luteal phase. Menstruation is breakdown. So A is 2, A is 2, option number 3. Yes or no, students? Option number 3, A is 3. Done. Solve this question, students. A, I have empty question. So what is the question? What is the answer? Ansi, Nandu, Rajwat, Anusha, Blessy, Darshini, what is the answer? What is the answer, students? What is the answer? The main function of corpus luteum is to produce progesterone only. Progesterone always. Progesterone, yes or no? Okay, done. Now, students, shall we go to the last part of the chapter now? Shall we come to the next part of the chapter that is called as fertilization, students? Now, whatever I'll be teaching you is very high level content. I'll be teaching you out of NCERT. I'm telling you now only, right? So, are you ready, students? I'll be teaching you out of NCERT. I'll be teaching you next level content which is not available. It is usually seen in your medical books because that is the level I want to keep in my class. That is the level I want to keep in my class. I do not want all of you to have half knowledge. I want all of you to have complete detailed knowledge about every single topic. Shall we start? Shall we start? Menopause will occur at the age of 50, around age of 50, students. Around the age of 50. Students, I do not know where I kept the pen. Students, give me 1 second. Students. I think I forgot I kept the pen outside. 1 second, students. Students, ready, all of you? Ready? All of you ready, students? Yes or no? All of you ready? Can I get a students? All of you are very students. I feel all of you do not show any energy only. I don't know what is this class. When I say ready, you're like, sir, I'm ready. I'm sleeping, sir. I am not really ready. What is this? Show some energy, students. Show some energy. Yes. Today the chapter has to end. I'm going in detailed as possible. I'm not going to hurry anything in my class. No hurry. Okay. So show some energy, students. Put some comments. Nice comments you should add. Like the video. Like the video. Okay. Now, students, what is fertilization? Now, I want all of you to understand there's a clear difference between fertilization and syngamy. Both are not same. Fertilization is a fusion of your gametes. Fertilization. Then what is syngamy? Syngamy refers to fusion of nuclei. That is syngamy, students. Syngamy. Okay. Now, students, here we have female gamete fused together. Fertilization happens, and we get an offspring. But is it that easy actually? No, it is not that easy. There are a lot of events happening, students. Now, I want all of you to understand what is the first step here. The first step is the journey of the ovum. The ovum is released in the ovary here, and the ovum is traveling. Now, ovum will reach a region called as ampulla region right here, students. It reaches a region called as ampulla region right here. Ampulla region. Now, in this ampulla region, there will be the movement of sperm also. The sperm is also entering the ampulla region here. Okay. Ampulla region, students, see this. The sperm is entering through vagina. This is a vagina here. It's called insemination. Release of sperm is called as insemination, right? And the sperm is entering here. And the sperm, half them, students, wrong way, wrong turn. They take wrong turn also here. Some will go this side. See, sperm doesn't know. The sperm doesn't know which side the ovum is. So half the sperm will go this side, half sperm will go this side. So this sperm will not get anything in the end. These sperms will reach the ampulla region. And in this ampulla region, what happens? In this ampulla region, there is fertilization happening. Now, students, now we will learn something very specific in nature, something very specific. Do you think as soon as the sperm comes in contact with the egg, there will be fertilization? No. It is not just an easy process at all. There are a lot of things happening here. Now, first question to all of you students. First question to all of you. How do you think the sperm knows that it has to attach to the egg? Anyone? Students, anyone? All of you? All of you students? All of you think. How do you think? It's not ampullary isthmus, it's just ampullary isthmus is old. How do you think the sperm knows that it has to attach to the egg? How? Think. All of you tell me in the chat quickly if you know. How do you think it knows? So let me teach you, students. Let me teach you. The sperm will bind. Students, the sperm will bind to the sperm receptor. Now this receptor is called as what? It is called as ZP3 molecule. ZP3 molecule. And students, sperm is also confused? Yes, you're also confused. This ZP3 molecule is actually present on, it is present on zona pellucida. This zona pellucida has something called as ZP3 molecule. The sperm will try to find a receptor. It's like, where is the signal coming from? Where is the signal coming from? Now, once it finds the signal there, it'll go and bind there. It'll go and bind there. Now, connection has been done. Connection has been done now. Successfully connected. Now, students, if all of you remember a particular ovum, do you think it has multiple layers? Students, all of you, do you think it has multiple layers? Yes or no? See, if you see, this is a typical, this is how it looks. This is how the egg looks like, students. This is how the egg looks like here. Can you see the first polar body is here, second polar body, everything, the first polar body is here. Can you see it has multiple layers on the top? It has something called as corona radiata. It has zona pellucida. It has plasma membrane. Then on the inside we have the cytoplasm. Here cytoplasm. And on the inside we have the nuclei, where the sperm nuclei has to fuse. So it has multiple layers to cross. It has multiple layers to cross through. So students, I want all of you to understand there are multiple reactions happening here. Okay. Now here, once the sperm enters inside, there are two main reactions. The first one is called as capacitation and one second, let me just change the different color. Never mind. Acrosomal reactions. Now, first of all, I want all of you to understand what is capacitation. Okay. What is capacitation, students? Now, capacitation is a process where once the sperm enters inside the female reproductive tract, once the sperm enters the female reproductive tract, right? Once it enters the reproductive tract there, right? Reproductive tract, right? The sperm undergoes evolution. The sperm is becoming more active, more motile. It's like all of you know Pokemon, students. Pokemon. There is something called as your Charmander, Charmeleon, Charizard. There is an evolution of Pokemon. Similarly, there is an evolution of your sperm. The sperm becomes more active now. More active it becomes. And it starts to move very fast right now. The sperm is getting activated. It is like activation of sperm is called as capacitation. And capacitation happens in the female reproductive tract. It happens. Done. Now, what do you mean by acrosomal reaction, students? Understand what is the meaning of acrosomal reaction, first of all of you. What do I mean by acrosomal reaction? In acrosomal reaction, students, there are three things happening. The first reaction here, students, do all of you remember, right? The sperm had a head region. The head region had something called as acrosome. Do all of you remember, students? There was something called as acrosome there. Acrosome. Now, in this acrosome, there are a lot of chemicals to disintegrate the layers here. The first chemical here is called as your hyaluronidase. Okay, hyaluronidase is present there. This will completely break down the granulosa cells. So the first layer called as granulosa cells is broken down completely. Whatever was present on secondary oocyte gone. Okay. Now, the second one is called as corona penetrating enzyme. This corona penetrating enzyme also called as CPE. This CPE will completely break down the corona radiata. Completely break down to the corona radiata. So granulosa layer is gone, corona radiator layer is also gone. Students, which layer is present still now? All of you can tell me. All of you. First layer, granulosa is gone. Corona radiator is also gone now. See here, students. As the sperm is entering, layers are broken down. Layers are broken down now. Now the last layer of the secondary oocyte is called as ZP. Yes or no? What is ZP, students? What is ZP? Anyone in the chat? What is ZP? Then we have something called as zona lysine, or it is mainly called as acrosome. Acrosome. This acrosome will completely break the zona pellucida. So zona pellucida layer is also broken. So one by one, students, yes, I'm a Ben 10 fan, right? So zona pellucida layer is also broken. So first, I'll just repeat one more time, students. I'll just give you a small recap what exactly happened here, right? What exactly happened here, students? First, the sperm will bind with the sperm receptor. The sperm receptor is called as ZP3 molecule. It is present on the zona pellucida layer. So it will detect the molecule, bind there. Now, once sperm is coming in contact with the entire secondary oocyte right now, there are multiple layers there. The outer layer is called as your zona pellucida, corona radiata, granulosa cells. There are multiple layers. All the layers will start to break down. Okay. Now there is something called as capacitation, which happens in the female reproductive tract. That happens. So with the help of capacitation, the sperm is becoming active again. Then we have acrosomal reactions. There we have hyaluronidase will break down the granulosa cells. Corona penetrating enzyme CPE will break the corona radiata, gone. Then we have zona lysine or acrosome will break the zona pellucida layer. So with that, the entire layer is broken down, completely gone, students. Now this is not given your NCERT, all of you in the chat. Now one question arises. All this is okay, sir. Now this entire process can be done by all the sperm. Yes or no, students? Yes or no? All of you. Students, I will give break after this. Nandu, break after the class only, because even I have to eat. If I give a break, I'll eat and come, then I'll feel sleepy. No. So if I feel sleepy, you also feel sleepy. Yes or no? Sir, you will sleep off starvation. Exactly, students. I will sleep off. I will sleep off then if I eat food. Because in my house, they would have made curd rice now. If I eat curd rice, students, after curd rice, I don't think anyone can be awake. Curd rice is one ultimate drug, anesthesia it is. Okay. Now, students, understand this entire process can be done by all the sperm. Yes or no, students? Yes or no? It can be done by all the sperm. So, can anyone tell me how can we prevent from all the sperm fusing with the egg? Like, how is it possible to prevent polyspermy, students? Students, exactly, curd rice, students. Curd rice, obviously, curd rice is how. Why will I change, students? Why will I change the dialogue? Right? I am myself. Do you think one more Basavaraj Sir is teaching in DNA batch? No. I am the same Basavaraj Sir teaching in DNA batch also. No. Same person only. So here I will tell I don't like curd rice. There I will like curd rice. Now that is wrong. Okay. Obviously, I am the same person. I'm not a clone. My clone is not teaching in DNA batch. Same person is teaching in DNA batch. Okay. Now, students. Now, how can we prevent polyspermy? Anyone? How can we prevent polyspermy, students? How can the polyspermy be prevented? How does the process make sure that only one sperm enters inside, one sperm nuclei enters inside? How? How? Anyone? To understand that process, I want all of you to firstly understand, why do you think the tiger sperm and tiger egg can fuse together? Why can't I take a giraffe sperm and tiger sperm and tiger egg and fuse? Why is it not possible? See, in labs, they make something called as liger anything. They make liger anything. But in nature, it is not possible. In nature, it is not possible because a sperm and egg will have a particular signals. Understand. A ovum and sperm A ovum and sperm, students. A ovum will have something called as fertilization, and a sperm will have something called as anti-fertilization. And this will be common in species. A tiger species will have, male and female will have the same thing. A tiger species will have same thing, students. Same thing will have. Same fertilization. So this anti-fertilization and fertilization, they are there, and the sperm will come and meet. Now, beautiful process I'll teach you, students. This chapter is really interesting because there is so much to teach here, apart from NCRT easiness. Okay, let's say this is an egg right now. This is an egg right now. The sperm is entering. Okay. Now, students, understand. Now, once the sperm comes in contact with the egg, what happens? Now, students, okay, sperm as eggs. Now, once the sperm comes in contact with the egg, right? One sperm, the first sperm. There are many behind in the race. There are many behind in the race here. Okay, many are there behind. Let's say this is the first sperm which comes in contact. This person is the winner here. Winner, chicken dinner. Okay. Now, students, once the first sperm comes in contact, there will be formation of a cone here. Cone here. Now, this cone is called as what? It is called as fertilization cone. Fertilization cone. Now, once there is a formation of fertilization cone, then what happens? Once there is a formation of fertilization cones, it will start to release, it will start to open sodium channels. All the sodium channels will open here. Open. Now, if the sodium channels are opening, then what happens? Then what happens? If all the sodium channels open, then what happens? Then the entire plasma membrane gets depolarized. The entire plasma membrane gets depolarized. After this, what happens? Plasma membrane depolarize. Gone. So once the entire plasma membrane is depolarized right now, no other sperm can enter inside. Now this sperm is the winner right now. Now this right here is called as fast block method. This right here is called as what? Fast block method. Fast block method. There is something called a slow block also. I'll not teach you slow block because it will take so much of time. Slowly I'll teach you the next some of the class. In slow block, what happens? I'll give you a small clue, students. In slow block, what happens is that later on, I'll teach you a little bit. Okay. In slow block, what happens, students? There is a release of calcium ions here, and these calcium ions will undergo reaction to form your cortical granules here. You can see throughout the membrane here, there will be a layer of cortical granules here. Now that is called a slow block. Later it becomes slow block. So, but understand right now, just remember, this is the fast block. Initially, there is a fast block, the polyspermy is prevented. Later on, calcium ion opens up, that will prevent the later on, that is a slow block happens after that. This is a slow block later on. Students, have you ever learned this detail, students? Have you ever learned this detail, students? Have you ever learned this detail? Students, anyone? Students, have you ever learned this detail? I'll give you one entire recap one more time. Please listen to me. First, the sperm will bind with the receptor. That is, receptor is called a ZP3 molecule on zona pellucida. Sperm undergoes capacitation and acrosomal reaction, where we have hyaluronidase will break down the granulosa cells. Corona penetrating enzymes will break down the corona radiata. Zona lysine, also called as acrosome, will break down the zona pellucida. Now, there's fertilization and anti-fertilization for the same species to happen. Then what happens? Once the first sperm comes in contact with the plasma membrane, what happens? There is a formation of fertilization cone. That fertilization cone will open the sodium channels. Sodium channels, once it opens, entire plasma membrane gets depolarized. So this, no other sperm can enter inside. No other sperm will be able to enter inside right now. That is called as fast block. Then later there is something called a slow block, that is because of cortical reaction. Now in NCRT, if you open, students, let me just show you. Students, if you open NCERT right now, here is a line. You will see, you will tell me, sir, how detailed did you just go? If you just go here, students, in NCERT, and if you open this page in NCERT, students, slow computer will take some time. Okay, students, see this. Why is it not changing? Okay. Students, can you see this? Students, see this paragraph here? The process of fusion of sperm with the ovum is called as fertilization. That is fertilization, not syngamy. During fertilization, a sperm comes in contact with the ZP, zona basal layer of the ovum, and induces changes in the membrane that blocks the entry of additional sperm. I told you, students, ZP molecule has the receptor, comes in contact with the receptor. Later on, there is something called as what? Change in the membrane, that is membrane depolarization happening. See the students, change in the membrane. How? Because of the sodium channels are opening. Okay, that blocks the entry of additional sperm, thus ensures that only one sperm can fertilize an ovum. The secretion of acrosome help in, see this line, you see, students, the secretion of the acrosome help the sperm enter in the cytoplasm. How it is it, students? How does it happen? Entry into cytoplasm. The entry into the cytoplasm happens how? First, coronal radiate has been destroyed. Before this, there is granulosa cells destroyed, plasma membrane destroyed, then cytoplasm. Now, once the sperm enters the cytoplasm, can you see here? Once the sperm enters the cytoplasm, here the head region is entering. The nuclei is given. This nuclei and this nuclei, haploid nuclei will fuse together. That is called as syngamy. Syngamy is fusion of two nuclei. Syngamy happens, and then we get the entire zygote, students. Then we get the entire zygote here, which is diploid, and this zygote will develop into the embryo eventually. Students, question for all of you. Students, capacitation is not given in NCERT. Capacitation is not given in NCERT, but it has been asked in your NEET 2017. So they can ask you anything, students. They can ask you anything. Students, do you want to know how the twins are formed? Students, do you want to know? In the chat, ask me. Do you want to know what is the fraternal twins, non-identical twins, and identical twins? How do we get it? Do you want to know, students? Do you want to know? Do you want to know, students? Ask me. You can always ask me, students. I will never say no. Students, I'll tell you always. Every single, I'll tell this, all the DNA batch students can also ask me, all of you know. In DNA batch, every single topic I teach 4 to 5 times or 3 to 4 times. Why? I make sure every single student knows the concept. Then only I go front. Otherwise, unless I teach something very clearly, I will never go front. Next topic. Okay, want to know, students? Okay. Now listen to me very carefully. Listen to me very carefully how the twins are actually happening. Okay. Now, students, first of all, I'll teach you what exactly happens. Okay. Now, students, tell me okay, students, polarization, depolarization, you learn chemistry, right? Students, understand what happens. Every single month, how many eggs are released? All of you. Every single month, how many eggs are released? First of all, tell me, students. Every single month, 1 egg is released. Now, sometimes what happens is that a female will release 2 eggs. Sometimes what happens is that a female will release 2 eggs simultaneously. Let's say from this ovary, 1 egg will come. From one more ovary, 1 more egg will come. 1 more egg. Now, students, here I told you some sperm are going this side, some sperm are going this side. Now, let's say in the case of non-identical twins which do not look like each other, the twins which do not look like each other, right? The face difference is different. In that case, there are 2 eggs. 1 egg is here, 1 egg this side, and both eggs are fertilized by different sperm. So if 2 eggs are produced and they're fertilized by different sperms, So can I tell that two babies will look different from each other? All of you. In that case, the two babies will look different from each other. Yes, they will look different from each other, students. They will look different from each other. So non-identical twins. Then, sir, how do we get identical twins then? How do we get identical twins? Understand, students. Understand. Identical twins are, if you want to understand that, give me 5 more minutes because I have to teach you one more concept for that. I'll teach you one more concept for that. I'll teach you, then I'll tell you that answer. Okay. Now, students, can anyone tell me this answer? How to get identical twins? I'll tell you later on. I have to teach you one more concept for that. Okay. How to manage both school and online classes? I'll make a video for that. Don't worry. Adhari, Mahalakshmi, I'll make a video for that. Don't worry. Exactly. Today we became a zoo army. Yes, today we are zoo army today. Okay, students. Answer. All of you. What happens? Secretion of acrosome helps in the entry of cytoplasm and ovum through sonopellucida. Very simple, students. Now, all of you know the sex determination? Yes or no, students? All of you know this, right? All of you know sex determination. Yes, Cash is angry because he wants food. Everyone wants food. Students, I know. Even you want food, even I want food, everyone wants food. Okay, but everything in this journey needs sacrifice. So we will sacrifice right now for this journey. We will sacrifice dinner for this journey right now. Okay, so female produce always oogenesis 22 plus always X chromosome. In the case of male, we get X and Y chromosome. XX will female, XY male. This I don't need to explain, student. All of you know this. All of you know this. Right? XX is always female, XY is always male here. Okay. Now, students, what exactly happens post fertilization? Okay. So, what exactly happens, students, post fertilization right now? I'll understand, students. Understand. What is happening post fertilization? Now we have zygote now, students. Now, students, can I say zygote is actually the first cell in the human body? All of you? Students, can I tell zygote is the first cell in the human body? Yes. Diploid or haploid? Diploid. Now, this zygote will start to divide right now. Okay, students. Okay. Okay, stay NEET connected connecting. Okay, connected after NEET also. Okay. Now, this particular zygote will start to divide. It's called as cleavage of zygote. One cell will become two cell will become four cell will become multiple cell. It will start to divide rapidly, students. Now, students, is this mitosis or meiosis? Anyone? Do we have mitosis or meiosis here? We have mitosis here. It is a mitosis, but this mitosis is different from the mitosis happening in normal cells. This mitosis is different from the normal mitosis. Please remember, students. Please remember that. Okay, because here G1 and G2 does not happen here actually. Here G1 and G2 phase does not happen actually. All of you know, right? In interphase, there is G1, S, G2. This G1 and G2 does not happen here. It does not happen here. Okay. Now, students, I have one egg, zygote, 2 cell, 4 cell, and once we get 8 to 16 cell stage, the 8 to 16 cell stage is called as morula. So 8 to 16 cell stage is called as what? Morula, students. Now I want all of you to understand the difference between what is a morula, what is a blastocyst, and what is a blastomere. Understand. Students, please listen to me carefully. Can all of you see very clearly that inside this morula we have multiple cells inside? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Multiple cells are there inside. Yes or no? Now these individual cells inside are called as what? Blastomeres. So the inside each individual cell is called as what? Blastomere. So this every single cell inside is called as blastomere. Every single cell on the inside is called as a blastomere. Please remember that, blastomere. Now in this morula stage we have around 8 to 16 cells. Here they have shown you more, but that is later stages. 8 to 16 is called as morula. Okay. Now students, now all of these blastomeres on the inside, they will do something called as discrimination. Right? They'll do groupism. Students, in the school also do you have groups? Yes, students. In the school also do you have groups in the school? Yes or no, students? In the school do you have groups here? Like, you know, your best friends are there. In a school you have groups, college you have groups. Now here also we do group formation. Half of the blastomeres, the cells on the inside, will go outside. All of these cells, half of them will go outside like this. Half of them will go outside like this, outside. Half of the blastomeres will go on the outside here. Here, half of them will go on the outside. Now remaining ones will always go to this one corner. Remaining ones will go to one corner. So half of the blastomeres are on the outside, remaining one are on the inside. You can see here also. You can see here also. Okay. So zygote, 2-celled blastomere, 4 blastomeres, 8 blastomeres, 16 blastomeres, both are called as morula. Then students, once the segregation happens, that is called as a blastocyst. Blastocyst right here. Blastocyst right now, students. Now a question arises. Right? Question arises. Students, again I'm teaching you a very high level concept. Why can't morula undergo implantation? Anyone? Why can't morula undergo implantation? It's a very good question. This question was asked. This question is generally, it was asked to me 4 years back somewhere. Anyone, students? Why can't morula undergo implantation? Why only blastocyst can undergo implantation? Anyone? Why blastocyst? All of you know it has two layers. Outer part is called as trophoblast, inner part called as inner cell mass. Here you can see here clearly. All the blastomeres on the outside is called as what? Trophoblast, outer layer. This inner part is called as inner cell mass. Yes, it is all good. But why can't morula undergo implantation? Why only this blastocyst undergoes implantation? Anyone? Students, my milkshake is also over. I was drinking during the DNA batch class. It is over now. I forgot to get water also. I'm taking continuous class, students. Yes, you want to see Cash? I'll show you Cash, students. He is gone for a walk right now. Anyone? Why can't morula undergo implantation? You want to know, students? Do you want to know? Students, how many of you want to know? Students, how many of you want to know? In the chat quickly. Students, how many of you want to know in the chat quickly? Students, this particular morula has a layer around it. Still, morula still has a layer around it. It is like a cyst. It has a cyst layer around it. The cyst is called as zona pellucida, is still persistent. Some amount of zona pellucida is still there. So this zona pellucida layer will completely break. The cyst is breaking now. Once the cyst, the covering cyst breaks open, we get something called as a blastocyst. So once the cyst layer breaks out, we get the blastocyst later on. That is a blastocyst. And this blastocyst can easily attach because it doesn't have a covering on the top. Because it doesn't have a covering on the students, covering on the top. Doesn't have a covering on the top right here. So blastocyst is missing right now. So this can undergo implantation easily right now. Okay, students, again, I'll tell you some future here. This inner cell mass eventually gets converted to the embryo, and this trophoblast becomes placenta. How does it happen? Let's learn right now. How does it happen? Let's learn, students. Okay, how does it happen? I'll teach you right now. Okay, students, how is the class? Interesting, no? Have you ever gone this detailed in the class? Because this is how I want my classes to be. Right, this is how I'll teach in DNA batch. Also, DNA batch today, planting them, beautiful. It is amazing. Okay. No, students. Now, what is implantation under students? Now here we have blastocyst right now. Blastocyst. Cleavage basically means breaking. The division is called as cleavage. Division. Okay. Now, students. Now this entire thing is called a blastocyst. Here you can see, students. Here trophoblast on the outside here. Trophoblast on the outside here. In there we have inner cell mass here. Inner cell mass. Now this is the endometrium uterus, endometrium layer. This outer part is called as what, students? Endometrium layer on the outside. Now this particular entire blastocyst will go and attach to the endometrium layer. Endometrium layer is very thick right now. Undergoes. Now what happens, students? Now what happens? Try to imagine. This entire uterine tissue will undergo rapid multiplication. It undergoes rapid multiplication and it will completely engulf it inside like this. completely engulf the blastocyst on the inside. After attachment of the blastocyst, the uterine tissue divides rapidly and covers the blastocyst. As a result, blastocyst becomes embedded in the endometrium layer. The embedding of blastocyst in the endometrium is called as what? Anyone in the chat who can tell me? All of you. All students, what do you call that? The embedding of blastocyst into the endometrium layer is called as implantation. Students, do you realize when I used to teach last year for 2024 batch, right? Last year batch, right? 25 batch. I have taken class till what time? Can you believe, students? Can you believe what time till I have taken class one day? Anyone? Just try to imagine. I have taken a class till 3 a.m. in the morning. I have taken a class till 3 a.m. in the morning. We started the class around 9 o'clock, 9 to 10, 10 to 11, 11 to 12, 12 to 1, 1 to 2, 2 to 3. I slept that day. All of you students, everyone slept that day at 4 o'clock. After finishing my class, we had a meeting also. Everything was done. 3 a.m. we finished the class. So this is nothing. All of you, right? This is called implantation. Now, students, here is the question to all of you. Start solving. Students, I don't think it's visible to all of you, so it's fine. I'll read for you. Identify the human developmental stage. This is a blastocyst. This is a blastocyst here. And site of occurrence, uterine wall. Occurrence, uterine wall, students. Uterine wall. Students, is the voice breaking right now? All of you in the chat, quickly in the chat, tell me, students. Is the voice breaking? All of you? All of you. Is the voice breaking? Now, students, what exactly happens after implantation? Now, students, after implantation, what happens? Now, after implantation, what happens is that, right? Do you remember this entire trophoblast cells here? All of you remember, students? Right? This entire trophoblast cells here. On top of trophoblast cells, there's a finger-like structure here. On top of trophoblast cells, there is a finger-like structure arising. This finger-like structure, students, this finger-like structure on the top here is called as chorionic villus or chorionic villi. Chorionic villi. Now, students, this chorionic villi plus uterine tissue plus maternal blood, all three of them, chorionic villi, students, chorionic villi plus maternal blood plus uterine tissue, they become something called as interdigitated. This is called as what? Interdigitated. It's an NCERT term. Okay, they become interdigitated. Now, once they become interdigitated, right? Interdigitated, that results in the placenta formation. Okay, so after implantation, finger preparation appear on the trophoblast called as chorionic villi, which is surrounded by uterine tissue and maternal blood. So chorionic villi plus uterine tissue plus maternal blood, all three together, students, will give you the placenta. It will give you the placenta, students. It will give you the placenta. Okay, it will give you the placenta. That's how we get the placenta. Chorionic villi plus uterine tissue plus maternal blood, we get the placenta, students. Placenta. This is how the placenta, students. Can you see? Here is the womb. Here is the baby. Here is the umbilical cord. And at the bottom, students, can you see this part here? This part here is the placenta here, students. This right here is the placenta. Okay, this right here is the placenta right here, students. Placenta. Can you see, students? This right here is the placenta. The chorionic villi and uterine tissue becomes interdigitated, and we get the placenta, students. Placenta. Now, what is the function of placenta, students? Let's say mother is here, placenta is here, and the fetus is here. This is the baby. Fetus means the baby. Okay. Okay, not your baby. This is the different baby. This is the actual baby here. Okay. Now, students, when the baby needs nutrition, it has to come to placenta. Nutrition to the baby, oxygen to the baby. Baby will release the CO2 and metabolic waste it goes to placenta. So placenta basically, students, right? Placenta basically becomes a medium. Placenta basically becomes a medium for exchange of nutrients, exchange of oxygen, exchange of waste. It is a middle ground here. It is a middle ground here. That is a function. Now, students, apart from this, placenta also act as a temporary endocrine gland. Students, can anyone tell me, right? Can anyone tell me what is the meaning of, right? What is the meaning of temporary, what is the meaning of endocrine gland? Students, do you think endocrine gland can produce hormones? Yes or no, all of you in the chat? All of you in the chat, students? All of you. Do you think, all of you in the chat, who can tell me? What is a endocrine gland? Endocrine gland can produce certain hormones. Yes or no? Placenta will act like a temporary endocrine gland now. It will act temporary endocrine gland, it will produce producing hormones like HCG, HPL, relaxin, and estrogen and progesterone. Students, your NCRT says relaxin is produced by the ovary, also by the ovary. Also is the main word there. Also by the ovary in the later stages. But please remember, relaxin is also produced by placenta also. Placenta also. Okay. Placenta also, students. What is HCG, students? HCG is human chorionic gonadotropin. HPL, not IPL. Human placental lactogen. All remaining you know. HCG promotes progesterone secreted by the corpus luteum, helps in maintaining the pregnancy. HPL break down the fat in mother to supply energy to the fetus. Basically, they help in providing energy. Human placental lactogen. Okay. Remaining all of you know, relax the ligaments in the pelvis, help in widening of the cervix, helps in childbirth, also produced by the ovary. Also produced by the ovary. Please remember that. Okay. Students, here's a question to all of you. Here's a question to all of you, students. Which of the following hormones secreted by only during pregnancy? Only during pregnancy, students. Only during pregnancy. All of you. Students, very easy question. Very easy question, students. A, C, D. Right? A, C, and D. Because oxytocin release in normal condition, progesterone release in normal condition, but during pregnancy, HCG, HPL, and relaxin. Only during pregnancy, students. Only during pregnancy. Okay. Now, what is gastrulation? Right? What is gastrulation, students? Understand. What is gastrulation now? Okay. 4. Answer number 4. Not 2. 4 is the answer. Right? Only during pregnancy. Now, what do I mean by Prakesh? Option number 4 is the right answer. Only during pregnancy. Oxytocin is not released. Oxytocin released all the time. Progesterone is released all the time. Saka, option number 4. Okay. Now, students, what is gastrulation? Understand, students. The process by which the inner cell mass, remember the inner cell mass, students, inner cell mass, give rise to structure called as gastrula, which has various germ layers, is called as gastrulation. In gastrulation, what happens is that the gastrula is there, right? Gastrula will divide and many other layers are found. For example, students, the inner cell mass will divide and it will have 3 layers: endoderm layer, mesoderm layer, ectoderm layer. Now, every single layer here will form different organs. For example, endoderm will make something called as digestive system, liver, pancreas, lungs. Students, again, this you don't have to by heart. This you do not have to by heart, students. This you do not have to by heart. Okay. Okay. Okay, this is you do not have to by heart. Mesoderm, circulatory system, lungs, skeletal muscles, muscle system, hair, nails, skin, nervous tissue by ectoderm. That is a different layers producing different structures. Now, this is the most important part. This is the most important part. Changes in the embryo. What exactly happens every single month? Now, students, before the examination last year, this year, before NEET 2025, I told all my students, please learn this table very well. You will get a question from here and the question came from here. Okay, so please learn this very carefully. First trimester, students, I'll open NCRT for this. It's clearly written in NCRT better. Okay, NCRT is easy for this actually. If you open here. Okay, students, see this. Okay. What exactly happens during pregnancy? Listen to me, students. The human pregnancy lasts for 9 months. Gestation period, 9 months. Okay. In the case of dogs, ectopic pregnancy, someone told in the comment section, right? Ectopic pregnancy, basically implantation happens in other parts apart from uterus. Okay. Now, in human beings, after 1 month of pregnancy, the embryo heart is formed. So heart is formed, students. The heart is formed after 1 month. 1 month, the heartbeat can be heard after 1 month. Yes, low wallpaper, students. I love one piece. The first sign of growth, fetus may be noticed by listening to the heart sound carefully through stethoscope. That is after 1 month. Okay. By the end of second month, what happens? The fetus develops limbs and digits. Limbs and digits are basically the limbs, hands, as well as the fingers are produced by the second month. By the end of 12 weeks, the first trimester, by the end, very important, the end of first trimester, major organ systems are formed. For example, limbs and external genitalia are well developed. So, end of first trimester, external genitalia is formed. The first movement, we say no, the baby is kicking. Students, have you heard? They keep the hand on the woman's tummy, pregnant woman, and they say baby is kicking, football playing. When does it happen? The first movement of the fetus and appearance of the hair on the head is usually observed during the 5th month. So by the 5th month, it is a football player. By the 5th month, it is a football player by 5th month. Okay. By the end of about 24 weeks, end of second trimester, very important. End of second trimester, the body is covered with fine hair, eyelid separation, and eyelashes are formed. So second trimester, everything is formed. Students, for examination point of view, I would suggest please write it in a table format. You make a table. First month, heart formed. Second month, what happens? Limbs and digits. End of your first trimester, external genitalia. 5th month, it is kicking already. At the end of second trimester, eyelid separation. And by the 9 months, baby is ready to come out. By the end of 9 months, the baby is ready to come out right now. This is how I have given in my notes. You can read my notes also, students. First month, what happens? Second month, what happens? Third month, what happens? 4th month, what happens? 5th month, I told you, right? 5th month, first movement is seen here. Appearance of hair on the head. 6th month, what happens? That is end of second trimester, 24 weeks. 6th month, what happens? 7th month, again, it is not given your NCRT. 8th month is not given in NCRT. 9th month, what happens, students? The fetus turns upside down and is near the cervix for the parturition, students. 9 months. And finally, students, we come to the end of the chapter. This is how the baby looks, students. This is how the baby looks. See, the heart is formed. This is how the baby looks after 1 month. After 1 month, this is how the baby looks after 1 month. Like very tiny, like looks like an embryo itself. Heart is formed. Here the heartbeat can be seen, students. Heartbeat can be heard, sorry. Heartbeat can be heard. Right? They see, right? Heartbeat. This is how second month it looks like. So look how it looks second month. Third, end of first trimester. It looks something like this. Here also you can see. Organs are found. Movement in the 5th month we can show kicking. It's hard to kick here after 5th month. Kicking is done. 24 weeks, eyelid separation. Everything happens. Right? 9th month, baby is ready. 9th month, baby is ready, students. The last, this is the placenta. This is how the placenta looks like. Placenta. Okay, this is the baby here, umbilical cord. Now, students, how does the parturition happen? So, what is parturition? Students, understand. Parturition is nothing but childbirth. Parturition is nothing but childbirth. Now, let me ask you one simple question. From where do you think the first signal for parturition comes? The first signal. Anyone? The first signal for parturition actually comes from the baby and placenta. The baby and placenta both are like, I am ready to come out. I cannot spend any more minute here. I want to move out now. I want to move out of the womb. So baby will send a signal to the mother. Mother, mama, I am ready to come out now. Okay. So the baby and the placenta will send a signal. Now that signal will cause a contraction in the uterus. The first contraction is called as what? Students, the first contraction is called as fetal ejection reflex. The first contraction is called as fetal ejection reflex right now. Now, once the first contraction happens, there is a signal sent to the maternal pituitary. Once the first signal, students, as soon as the first contraction happens, because of fetal ejection reflex, there is a signal sent to the maternal pituitary here. Maternal pituitary, a signal is sent here. Now, what is signal here? The signal will tell release more oxytocin. Now, once there is a release of more oxytocin, what happens? Once there is a release of more oxytocin, more contraction, more contraction, more oxytocin, more oxytocin, more contraction. It keeps on happening. So contraction, oxytocin, more contraction. The cycle will continue. It is called as neurological cycle here. Neurological cycle, something like that. Right? The cycle will keep on happening until the cervix is wide enough for baby to slip out. The cycle will keep on happening, students. It will keep on happening until the baby is ready to slip out like this. Baby will slip out. And finally, the baby will come out. This is the placenta behind. Placenta is somewhere behind here. And the baby will come out. That is called as students, the parturition. That is called as parturition. Sometimes what happens, the mother is not able to produce enough oxytocin. The doctors will actually inject the oxytocin. Artificially, doctors will inject the oxytocin so that the mother contraction happens more and more. Okay. Mama, not ma'am, it's just mama or mummy or whatever you call it. Okay, that's how the entire thing happens. So, first of all, signal is given by fetus and the placenta. First signal will cause a contraction. Contraction is called as fetal ejection reflex. Because of the contraction, there's a release of oxytocin. More oxytocin, more contraction, more contraction, more oxytocin. Goes on happening, students. Goes on happening. No, it does not happen, Nandu. It does not happen. Nandu, it does not happen. Okay. Now, students, last topic is called as lactation. What is lactation, students? Now, during initial starting birth, after the birth of the child, the mother will start to produce milk. The initial milk is very important for the child, for the baby. Why? Because once the baby is out in the world, it is susceptible to a lot of infection. The baby is like very, very tiny, like doesn't know anything, doesn't even know what is ABCD, doesn't even know anything. Baby can get infected very fast. So mother's milk has a lot of antibiotics, right? Antibiotics. Now these are very important, right? Mother's milk, students. Mother's milk will have a lot of antibodies, not antibiotics, antibodies. Too much of I'm teaching that, no, other chapters. Students, do you know, right? I teach for Olympiad also. There I'm teaching this thing, human health. So human health is getting connected here. So it has a lot of antibodies. Right? Now these antibodies are present in the initial milk, that is called as colostrum. Students, colostrum. And the initial milk produced by the mother is called as colostrum right now. It has a lot of antibodies like your IgG, right? IgG, students. Okay, I did IgG. Okay. Now, students, one extra concept here. There is something called as prolactin and oxytocin. All students, right? Prolactin and oxytocin. Now, I want all of you to understand there is something called as prolactin. Prolactin will help in what? Prolactin will help in stimulate milk production. Prolactin will stimulate milk production. Oxytocin will stimulate milk release. So, oxytocin also helps in milk release, while your prolactin helps in milk production. So, this is very important, students. Please mark this somewhere. You will get confused. God promise for this one. Please write down this. Prolactin will help in milk production. Oxytocin helps in milk release. Okay. I will do principles of inheritance. That is my chapter only, students. Okay. Biotech, I'll ask Gopika ma'am. Biotech. Okay. So that is what happens here. So prolactin, milk production, oxytocin, milk release. Students, here is a homework question for all of you in the comment section. Homework question in comments. Homework question in the comments for all of you. Here's the question for all of you, students. Notes, I will upload it tomorrow. Okay. The notes, students, the notes I'll upload tomorrow. Okay. Notes I'll upload tomorrow. You will get all the notes. So, aram se you can study from me. Students, let me know in the comment section, not here. Let me know in the comment section how was the human reproduction detailed from my side. Okay. And the next chapter, students, next chapter is principles of inheritance. Next chapter is principles of inheritance from my side. Or if you want, I will do plant kingdom also. No, actually, I will do Plant Kingdom in your for other students, 11th students also anyway. Okay, students. So thank you so much, students. With that, it is done. Now again, students, I'm telling you, you have to finish your entire syllabus by December, whatsoever happens. And I have always been telling you, students, in DNA batch, we have been finishing the syllabus next level. Right? Today I finished Bravo 5 already in DNA batch. All the DNA batch students can tell. Right? So that's how amazing DNA batches. We've been teaching that constantly. You can get unlimited questions and everything. So if you're not a part of DNA batch, quickly join, because there I won't be student. The reason I teach the chapter here is because I can't teach it there. Yes or no? Right? So human reproduction is written tested. So all of you students in the chat, students, human reproduction, all of you in the chat, students, human reproduction done and dusted in the chat. Okay, so if you do not know what to say, students, if you do not know what to say, this you should write in comment section, and the homework answer in the comments, and the answer in the comments, students. Okay, so thank you so much, students. I hope all of you enjoyed, right? So hopefully I can hopefully all of you can understood the chapter. Any doubt in the comment section, I will clear it for all of you. Okay, students. So bye bye, all of you. Take care and have a great day ahead. So I can see my new students, all of you, my new students, I believe. Govind, Godvarshan, Nandu, Dhanamma, right? Ansi, right? Shamla, right? Prakash, right? So mean by colostrum, colostrum is the starting milk. Colostrum is the initial milk produced by the mother. Okay, students. So thank you so much, students. Bye bye, all of you. I look forward to seeing your comments in the comment section. So bye bye, all of you. Take care and have a great day ahead. Good night, all of you. Okay.